We're going to assemble the Laylo Lounger, the In-pool Lounger by 10 Jam. So when you get the Laylo, you get the backrest piece, the footrest piece. These are optional risers that add 4 inches to the height. 10 Jam also is working on an 8-inch riser for the Laylo. There's an optional pillow, optional coated lead diving weights. 10 Jam offers these lead weights. The coating on it was tested in a chlorinated saltwater pool. You can buy them through 10 Jam retailers, distributors. But you can also, if you're comfortable putting a different weight in the pool, as long as it fits within the port hole we give you, which is 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches, or the bottom of the leg rest piece, like that. That is like a little over a 3-inch hole. You can use a different weight, but this is the one 10 Jam recommends. It's a 4-pound weight, so we'll talk about that in a second. When you first buy anybody's In-pool Lounger and the Laylo Lounger, 10 Jam has depth charts. You look at your water depth and you figure out if you need the Laylo with risers, what depth your pool is, and if optional weights are needed or an optional riser is needed. So you'll make those selections before making the purchase. Now I want to show you how easy it is to assemble the Laylo Lounger. If you determine that you need a weight in the backrest of this lounger, for instance, this one without risers can work all the way up to 14-inch water depth, fully submerging the front of the lounger. That Laylo there is in 12-inch water depth, no riser, 2 4-pound weights in the front end of the lounger, and that allows that leg rest to be more submerged. If you put risers on this product in the 12-inch pool depth, you don't need any weights in it. So that's why you got to consult and look at those water depth charts. So if you do need a weight in the backrest, you would do that prior to putting it together. But without that right now, we're just going to show you how easy it is to assemble. So I take the backrest and the footrest, backrest, footrest. There are holes that align between the two products to make it easier to fill and empty, but there's also these keyhole slots that align, and there's a keyhole slot on each side, and then there's one underneath the tongue right here. So here's what we do. Just lay it on its back. You can determine if you want to lay it on its side if that's easier. I find that laying on the back like this is easier. You just take the footrest, set it on top of that, hold it with one hand. Then you got these connectors, and with these connectors, 10 Jam made them so these connectors can move in and out. In fact, you can move it out more if you want, but you'll see what happens. We're going to put this in that keyhole, we're going to turn it, and then we're going to fasten it down with our fingers, not a pliers. It only needs to be finger tightened, so you don't need tools to put Laylo together. But to start with, just expand it so there's some space there. Take it, have this edge vertical, or the key vertical. You'll see these key slots right here. See how those are vertical? I'm going to put it through. I'm going to hold the end of that. Now I'm going to turn this 90 degrees, and I can kind of hold that there and then turn it. And you don't have to get all the way tight when we're just doing this step. Once we get them all in, we're going to then hold it, do them all tight. So start by doing this. If they don't align, you might have to just kind of wiggle it a little bit, but get that thing 90 degrees. And now they're all in there. So you can finger tighten it down. And that's how easy it is to assemble the Laylo Lounger. So now this lounger works up to 8-inch water depth without adding any risers or weights to it. But as the water comes up, you'll see on the depth charts, it will say like a 9-inch water depth. You'll go through the step of filling this lounger. And then at that point, you've got that hole. I'll show you that. You got this hole underneath the footrest right there. So once you go through the steps of filling it up, it'll tell you at a 9-inch water depth that you need a coated lead weight. And while it's full, you'll reach down and you'll drop that in the lounger. Now on those depth charts, it will tell you after you get up to 14-inch water depth, which is the maximum for this version, you'd drop a weight in the back and maybe 2 or even 3 in the footrest. Now let's put the risers on it. Now I put the weight in, and that weight can just stay inside, depending on your pool depth. But if you don't want the weight, you can reach in that hole and you can easily fish that weight out. The risers have a tongue. It has holes on the top of that tongue that align with the bottom of the where it gets accepted there. If you find that it's a tight fit, add some biodegradable soap around this, wet it down. It adds a little lubricant. You'll line that up. You'll position your body over it, and you'll snap it in. So if that's hard to snap, again, add that lubricant with the soap. Now the last step, now I'm showing you too, I'm on top of a moving blanket, because as I assemble this, I don't want to move it around and scratch it up if I'm on like my pool deck or something. So add a moving blanket or some protection, a towel. Now here's the rear riser. I can feel that feels more snug. So if I don't want to just hammer down on it like this, I could always flip this thing over, keep that riser where it's at, and then like this, you could go and snap it into place that way too. So if you find like pushing on it from the top isn't working, you can always turn it over, maybe even straddle the lounger and pop it down. That's a way to get that riser snug fit into the bottom of it. So that is the assembly of a Laylo lounger. There's also optional pillows. The pillow has a weight pocket in the back of it, so you could remove the weight to put this through the hole, or I don't usually take it out, so what I do, I just fold that over, push it through that handle opening like this, and that's the counterweighted pillow. The design of that is so it doesn't pull through, so if windy days and stuff, you just don't get that pillow flying off and going into the pool. Also, if you're sitting on it, you can self-adjust this pillow while you're sitting on the lounger. So if you're tall, you can push it up. If you're a short person, you push it down. But even if your kids come in, they're not going to be able to pull it out of here unless they try to get it out through the handle again. That's how simple it is. Thanks for watching.